Hello friends, and welcome back to the Writer's Block. I'm hopping in real quick for an unboxing and review of Brandon Sanderson's Secret Project number 1, Tress in the Emerald Sea. I just got my package. I'm way behind. Everybody else in the world has gotten their book before me. And I spent way too much money on this Kickstarter, but wanted to be part of history and the hype. And I didn't go all out. I didn't get the most expensive box, but I did get the physical copies of the books along with the audiobooks and ebook. And I have already read the book in ebook style, but I wanted to wait until I got the book. Err on the side of awesomeness. That's awesome. I wanted to wait until I got the book. Do a full review, and this is going to be an uncut, unedited review, so you'll have to forgive me for the hums and ahs. That's what comes in the book first. A little Cosmere pin of, looks like Vin. And then a note. Spoiler warning, this box contains some spoilers. So I'll try to keep this review spoiler free as possible. Ooh, this is really pretty. Few little extra items in the box. Emerald Sea, Tress and Emerald Sea sticker, and if I can get it up, it's like statically magnetized to the book. Cool vinyl bookmark. Also of Tress. Her hair's way too flowy in this. It should be like Hermione Granger gnarled hair. That's how I imagined it. And then it looks like we got Hoyd here. World Hopper chart of the stars. That's cool. That's really cool. All right, and then lastly, we have the book itself. This is really cool, high quality book. It reminds me a lot of like what you get. It reminds me a lot like the Barnes and Noble editions. It's like, here's my War and Peace from Barnes and Noble. If you've seen these, very similar quality and product. Let's see if I can gently open it up. Try not to damage it. But overall, my thoughts on the book. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed it quite a lot. Not as much as everyone online seems to be enjoying it. I'm a bit surprised how high this is rated relative to other Brandon Sanderson books on Goodreads. I think this is like his top rated, or it's like in the top 3 rated Brandon Sanderson books of all time. I wouldn't rate it that high personally. I think the original Mistborn trilogy is like A tier. The Way of Kings and Words of Radiance are S tier. Oathbringer's A tier, and then there's a bunch of like B tier stuff, and this is more like B tier to me, but I really still liked it, and I'm very impressed that he cranked this out with the speed that he did. The artwork is awesome. It's beautiful. There's her cups. I will say this in my review of the book. Cool. Oh, this is like, this book feels good and it smells good. It just feels really good to hold. And there's beautiful artwork throughout. There's the couple. And that's what's interesting about this book, is if you go and listen to what Brandon has said about this book, he was inspired by watching The Princess Bride for the idea of this story, right? It's inspired by The Princess Bride. The idea is basically, well, what if Buttercup were a more active character? What if when Wesley disappeared, she went after him? And that's kind of the basis for this book, only the roles are reversed. In The Princess Bride, Buttercup is sort of the upper-class lady who is crowned princess, and Wesley is the lowly farm boy, right? In this story, Tress is the lowly servant farm girl, window washer, and Charlie is the upper-class prince, right? And he goes missing, and Tress goes after him. Spoiler alert for the basic premise of the novel. And if you haven't read it already, I'm probably one of the last. But let's see what other pictures there are. Any other artwork? I did think that's cool. This artwork is awesome. I thought that this is one of the coolest worlds that Brandon has made, which is saying a lot because Brandon Sanderson's created Scadrial and Roshar, the place in the Stormlight Archive. Two of the most interesting worlds I've read in fantasy. Plus, he's also got the world of Elantris and the world of Warbreaker and a bunch of other worlds from other stories. And that's just the Cosmere. So the fact that he's still creating really ingenious and unique worlds is really cool. It's really impressive that he keeps going and keeps innovating. There she is. There she blows on her ship, her pirate ship. I liked this book quite a lot, and I thought the beginning I didn't understand that it was kind of based on or inspired by The Princess Bride, so the tone at first I was like, this is really different for Brandon Sanderson. Also, it's told by Hoyd. That works more sometimes than at other times. When it works really well. Other times it kind of fades into the background, but I like that Brandon's trying new stuff. The Hoyd scenes where he's telling stories in the Stormlight Archive are some of my favorite scenes in that series. So I enjoyed this fresh take. The setup was a little bit, if I'm comparing it to The Princess Bride that it's based on, The Princess Bride is a little more effective at setting up this relationship between Wesley and Buttercup. I felt like this relationship between Tress and Charlie was a bit juvenile, bit underdeveloped. I would have liked to see a little bit more development and investment so that I feel more invested with these characters before they go off on their adventure. And the Princess Bride has that famous line, like, as you wish, that kind of that has so much subtext to it. And this is it's still good, but it feels a little bit juvenile. Once Tress gets off the island, that's when the story really gets going and becomes fantastic, in my opinion. That's like the best part of the story is the middle, which is not usually the case, right? Usually you have really strong beginning, muddled middle, and hopefully a great ending. I thought the middle was the best part of this book. It's very much pirate ship. It's like she becomes the Dread Pirate Roberts in this tale, right? On this world where there are oceans of this granular sand-like material called spores, and if they interact with water, dangerous things happen, depending on the spore. It can be even worse with other spores than the ones that we were introduced to initially. Things kind of get progressively worse, and it's just like tremendous amounts of power in these spores, essentially, that if you don't know, they can be unpredictable. So, really interesting world. I liked the character of Tress. I liked that she was basically out of her element the whole time and struggling to adapt and to learn and to stay ahead of, death. And it was a good time. It was a good time. And then we get to the end, and things felt a little bit rushed to me at the end. I think this is probably the weakest Sanderson ending that I've read. We've come to expect so much from Brandon Sanderson and his endings. Even have that term, the Sanderlanche, where just like everything just seems to come together and creates just this deep feeling of catharsis. And this story, things wrapped up really quickly. It was a great idea for an ending. And that has interesting implications for the future of the Cosmere. But honestly, had to reread the defeat of the villain because it happened so fast. I thought I missed it, and I did. And I think the reason that this feels rushed is because the villain is underdeveloped in this story. I'm not really sure what her motives were. book doesn't really give us that much. We don't have very much time with her at all, and maybe I missed it. Let me know if I did in the comments below, but I do not know what her motives were in this story. And then she was gone. And I wonder if Brandon Sanderson is churning out novels faster than ChatGPT. And I wonder if he had slowed down and reworked this ending a bit, fleshed it out a little bit more. I wonder if this could have been like a 5-star book. To me, this is very B-tier Sanderson. I think it's better than a lot of fantasy writers are putting out right now. More unique world, very imaginative, and I highly recommend it to anyone. I've been recommending it to all my friends and family, but it's not, without its issues. I don't think it's a perfect book. I don't think it's Sanderson's best book. I'm really looking forward to reading the other 3 books in this year of Sanderson. And I don't want to sound like I didn't like the book at all. I enjoyed the majority of the book. I just felt like the ending was a bit rushed and would have liked to see a little bit more payoff. But that's just me. Would love to hear what you guys thought. Did you go all out on the Kickstarter and get the I don't even know what's in the top tier box, but all I know is very expensive and I could not justify it. So, anyways, thanks so much for watching, you guys. Let me know if you've read Tress of the Emerald Sea. I thought it was Tress and the Emerald Sea. It's Tress of the Emerald Sea. And what you thought of it. And hopefully we'll see you back here soon.